Well, happy Memorial Day, everybody. If you're here in the United States, you know what that means. If you're from somewhere around the world, this is the day that we honor all the soldiers in our country's history who gave their lives so that we could live a free lifestyle. And certainly, I would like to talk to you about the power of giving your life for something bigger than yourself on The Power of One. Well, you know, I really do feel blessed to live in the United States, and it's not that the rest of the world isn't wonderful. I love traveling all over the world, and in reality, any free country that we're able to visit and live in and have liberties and freedom is a wonderful place to be, to say the very least. But since I do live in the United States, you know, I certainly really respect Memorial Day and what it stands for. It actually started off many years ago as something that celebrated the soldiers that fell in the Civil War, which is obviously probably the ugliest time during our country's history. We're fighting against one another. But then as the years went by and we had other conflicts and we joined World War I, and our soldiers weren't just dying for our freedoms, but they're actually dying for freedoms of people all over the world as we fought in that World War. We fought to protect not only ourselves but our allies. Well, they decided that we should honor those soldiers as well. And as time has gone by, it became a holiday that we now just honor any soldier who's given her life for their country. And you know, I just want you to think about that one for a minute. I mean, so much of what we do every day, we take for granted. Now, maybe you don't, but I think I'm a pretty normal person, if you will. Well, I'm not really that normal, but I'm normal in a regard that I have so much abundance in my life that I have a tendency to take things for granted. And certainly I take my freedom for granted because I've never known a life without freedom. Thank God I've never known that. But think about all the people around the world, even during our lifetime, who have had that situation where they haven't had a free lifetime. There's people in this day and age right now who don't have a free lifetime. Thank God there's not as many of them, not nearly as many as there used to be, but as they say, freedom isn't free. Someone's got to pay a price for that. And you know, it really does my heart good to see how our country celebrates our military in general. I was just at Fenway Park in Boston a couple of days ago, and they did a very stirring tribute to the military. They had all four branches of the military there, and they just had a tremendous deal. And throughout the game, they had people from the Marines and Army and Navy and Air Force, and they were all coming out and they were being honored. Every half inning, they honored a different soldier for a different reason. And it was just so fun, and it made me feel so good to see how many people would get up on their feet every single time and cheer for every single soldier. It makes me feel good that we appreciate what these guys and gals are doing. But I just want you to think about it for a minute. Once again, along the lines of the power of one, have you ever really had something that was more important to you than yourself? I mean, a lot of us love this country, but do we love our country enough to be able to be willing to give our lives for it? And that's literally what these people have done. They have paid the ultimate price. You know, a lot of times we see our flag, and you know, it's wonderful, and as some people I guess don't really feel too much, but I got to tell you, every time I see this flag, I genuinely have gotten to a place in my life where it makes me stop and pause and think about people that have given their lives so that we can have the lifestyle that we have. And I'm just asking you on this day in particular to be willing to do that. This was given to me by a very dear friend of mine named Randy, and this flag actually has flown in Afghanistan. In 2009, this was flying over the former capital in Afghanistan. And I mean, I just look at this flag and I think about how many people died in order for us to be able to do what we've done over there. And it really does humble me, and it really does make me proud, once again, to be part of a country where people are willing to do something not only for themselves and not only for their own country, but for freedom in general, fighting all over the world wherever there's tyranny and oppression. It's pretty remarkable stuff. So if you have a family member, a loved one who has died previously in the war, take a moment and go to a gravesite today, get some flowers. If you don't, you know what? You can do it anyway. You don't have to personally know somebody. The whole point is to just think and be reflective, and if nothing else, be really grateful. And tying this into the power of one, you know, what can one person do? Well, you know, you can argue that one person can't do anything, but in reality, a group of one people, a group of individuals who believe in one common goal can do remarkable things. As a matter of fact, they can set the world free. So I honor our fallen soldiers today. I hope you're doing the same thing, and I look forward to talking to you again next week on The Power of One.